Well, hey there, YouTubes. How's it going? Hey, excuse me real quick while I grab a handful of throttle. Oh, baby. So let's get right into it, guys. This is exactly the footage of why I don't ride in large groups. Be advised, this can be graphic if you've never seen a motorcycle accident before. So here's the story behind this. Last year during the fall, when the footage you just watched was recorded, there was a event, a charity ride for a young man who was attacked by a dog. Young man being like 10 or 11. And he survived, but he had a bunch of scars and stuff. So somebody put together this big benefit ride, and we were all going to ride down to this trailer park where the kid lived and do like a parade. And as you saw in the clip, there were a lot of bikes. I would say there was a good 200. A couple of a 1% clubs, a bunch of other clubs, and it's random people like myself with some friends. So we all meet up at the Walmart here in the city that I live in. And right before we all get together, you know, we have a meeting like most rides do. And the person leading the group said, "All right, who wants to be blockers?" Right there was a red flag. You don't ask random people that you've never rode before in a group of 200 bikes, who wants to be a blocker in main traffic? So a bunch of people raised their hands, and they randomly selected people to be blockers. And then we all left. There was no other meeting that I saw of the blockers themselves saying, "This is the route, this is where I want you to block traffic," which is illegal, by the way. "This is what I want you to do." You know, none of that. So we all went and got in some formation, and it was not defined by itself. Meaning that some people rode staggered, some people rode side by side. And it was just a cluster F. We all left the local Walmart, went through town, got on a US highway, and I'm in line just doing my thing, trying to be as safe as I possibly know how to be. You know, I'm not super experienced in group riding anyway, because I don't do it very often, and you know, I only have a few friends that I even ride with. But for, I say 99% of the time, I'm by myself. So we're getting ready to turn right on this highway, and then this bike just flies by me, and I'm almost sitting still at this point, getting ready for my turn, which is probably, I don't know, 30 or 40 yards away from me for the turnoff. And he goes by me so fast that it blew my bike to the side. I mean, I was like that. I was like, holy crap, it scared the piss out of me. I'm glad I wasn't yawning and stretching my arm out, because I would have got it knocked off probably. So that startled me. And then I look in my mirror like, what in the world's going on? And another bike flies by me. The same speed. And now I'm only like 30 yards from this place to turn off. And as you saw in the clip, the guy didn't know the road. the guy that was coming up for blocking, that passed us illegally on a double yellow line. He didn't know the turnoff, he didn't know the road, he didn't know anything about this ride. He came up on top of the other bike that had just passed me, who suddenly stopped, realizing, oh, we're turning. And as you saw, flew on his brakes, did some fishtailing, hit the other guy rear end, and got ejected off the bike. I have never seen a motorcycle crash in person. I've seen them on YouTube's, but never in person. And, you know, I always hoped that I would never have the opportunity to do that. That's not something that I ever wanted to see, especially be involved in. You know, but in this specific case, you know, it was right in front of me. I caught it on my GoPro. So he was ejected off the bike. Look at all this mess in the road. Like I was saying, he got ejected off the bike and landed in some ditch, and he was unconscious from the time that I pulled up to try and help out the best I knew how until he got picked up by the ambulance. I'm pretty sure his head hit the concrete a couple times. Dang, I love this bike. You know, just the thought that somebody put together this benefit ride for a 10 or 11-year-old boy, you know, to celebrate him and the achievement of him getting past this dog bite, and to show support for the motorcycle community. I hope the kid never sees or understands that somebody nearly died because the person who put this group ride together was idiotic enough to not put a set of rules and just pick random people to say, hey, who wants to block, not knowing their skill set, trusting they know how to ride. It's my understanding that the guy didn't die. He has some very serious injuries, obviously. And he was actually from another city who rode up here by himself. At least this is what I was told. Rode up here by himself for this benefit ride because he saw an ad on Facebook or something. I mean, really? Let me go to another county where I don't live and say, hey, let me block. I don't know where we're going. I don't know the exits. I don't know the turns. Oh, by the way, I'll do it on a double yellow and pass everybody at 100 plus miles an hour. That is, and I'm not trying to rant too badly, but I could have been injured in the process. That pisses me off. The benefit ride was a total waste for me at that point. I got ruined by the thought of wanting to show support from this kid. And right after the ambulance left, I split off and did some country riding by myself and went home. I didn't even finish the route out. I mean, this is exactly to the point of why I don't ride in group settings with people that I don't know. I've been on a couple of rides with my best friend, who is the owner of Red Hawk Choppers. And when he has a ride for his business, you know, I'll go to that. But it's only, you know, 15 of us at tops, and he keeps it pretty well controlled. And I know most of the people. Something inside of me that day said, you know, this could be fun. You know, I want to experience riding as a group 200 plus bikes, you know, feeling the camaraderie, seeing all the bikes in front of me, hearing the roar of the motors and the exhaust, seeing it behind me, and it just completely ruined it, and I'll never do it again. I don't care what the benefits for it. You know, and I'm not the perfect rider. I don't claim to be. You know, I have fun. As you saw, I like to grab a little bit of the throttle here and there. I don't do it all the time, but I like to feel the power of my bike having a stage 2 on it. But man, people are stupid, especially in group settings, and I'll never do it again. So anyway, this isn't going to be a long video. I'm not going to draw it out. You got the point. You saw what I saw. So you guys be safe, do what you do, and make some videos so I have something to watch on YouTube. Adeuces.